Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, back for another video. Sorry it's been so long. Difficulty in getting bikes and the English weather. As you all know, it's a little bit difficult sometimes to go out in the rain. So here in front of us we have the beautiful Multistrada V4S Ducati. I'm super excited about this bike. Stunning, beautiful in red, gorgeous Italian engineering and design. Just the creme de la creme of adventure bikes, really. Big disclaimer today, it's going to be a bit of a different kind of video. I'm in a new area I don't know, built up city, so I'm not going to be able to kind of rev the bike, so apologies for that. Not going to be any fast paced sort of excitement speed. I've also got it only for about 30-40 minutes now that I've been fanning around trying to get the GoPro to work, and so slightly different vibes, but saying all that, we're still going to give it a good go, and hopefully I can give you a good idea of what the bike is like in a built up area and kind of day-to-day riding, rather than those big adventure long sort of mileages. So yeah, let's appreciate the style. Beautifully crafted as always. Ducati always know what they do when it comes to designing motorcycles, and I think we are going to get going and ride her. So let's turn her on so you can hear her. Oh, listen to that stunning V4. Right, let's jump on the bike. That's what you guys want to see. Okay guys, we're up and running, we're here, we're riding, we're in a busy South London town, but God, I do miss the countryside when riding. The bike is 158cc V4 engine, replaced the previous V-twin from the Multistrada 1260. There is obviously the V2 version as well, but we are on the V4S, so we've got power at our disposal. Not that we're going to be able to use it today. So brake horsepower of the bike is 170, which is 50 more than the Ducati 848 that I own, which is absolute madness. The price of this bike is gonna set you back brand new around £21,000. Released in 2021, so 3 years old now. Had a look online, and second hand you're going to find them for about, cheapest one I think I found was £14,000, but obviously they're going to have a bit more miles on them if you're looking to kind of get that cheap. Now in terms of model variation, it's a little bit like the GS. You kind of get lost in the plethora, fancy word, of available options that you've got. So you've got the V4S, you've got the V4S Sport, I believe, V4 Rally, you've got the V4 Pikes Peak, which to me stylistically is the most beautiful one out of them all, and you've got the soon to come, I think in May, June this year, V4 RS, which is basically an adventure bike that belongs on a MotoGP track. Absolutely stunning, beautiful, but God forbid why you'd want that much power on a adventure bike. I mean, these belongs in the Swiss Alps, so I don't know why you'd want to rag 150 miles an hour there. I mean, you'd have great fun. Now, in terms of the bike's sort of mechanical specs, we are talking Brembo Stylema calipers. And we're talking fully adjustable suspension, front and back, with quarter and ABS, which on these English wet roads, it's just non-stop at the moment. We're going to potentially need it, although we're just poodling today. This is going to be a city ride, nice city ride. Although I apologise to the viewers who like it when I rag the bikes. So first impressions on the bike, I'm just kind of riding around here, is extremely comfortable. The handlebars are really wide, so I feel like I'm not kind of clenched in. It's a really nice position. I'm standing up nice and tall, absolutely zero wind with this screen, but again we are only going 30 miles an hour, and my legs are in a nice kind of comfortable position. So I'm 6 foot, and I feel like I'm not sitting too much on top of the bike, which you get that sometimes. I'm quite, I feel quite at ease and quite embedded within it. In comparison to, for example, the GS Adventure, the tank doesn't feel huge. I'm able to kind of grip the bottom here quite comfortably, and overall, it's it's a really comfortable bike. These bikes are meant to spend a long time traveling up and down the country, and you're supposed to put miles on these things, so they're gonna be comfortable. In terms of comfort already, I wouldn't say it's a plush ride like a GS. One of the things I'm already finding, and you guys can probably pick up, I'm in second gear now, and a V4 engine doesn't particularly like it when you're poodling. I'm in touring mode, so the second, I suppose, in terms of least power. I think it's I can't remember what the other one's called. Let's have a look here on the mode. Urban. I think Urban gives you the least power available, versus Touring's kind of the second least, and then you go into Sport, where you're going to be able to access a lot more of that other power the bike has got. For a mode suspension there, it's actually really easy. You just press the mode button on the left hand side there, and then you just navigate it through this little joystick here at the bottom where my left thumb is, and it's nice and easy, almost like you're on a PS5 controller or something. The screen, as you can see, is manual. It's not adjustable. It's not fully, kind of automatically adjustable, and also this one comes with no heated grips, which for a £21,000 bike, how are you not going to have heated grips? Slightly baffling. Okay, note to any aspiring moto vloggers, God forbid, do not do this in busy cities. Oh my sweet Jesus. It's just horrible. You can't, you're stop and start. You're on a new bike, so obviously filtering is challenging. Yeah, get out in the countryside. I also don't know how to get out of this mode thingy. It's got to be an exit of some kind. You just push it left. There you go. We're learning together, peeps, viewers. What was I saying before? I was just on the kind of the different feel versus the GS on the tank grips, I believe. It feels, I mean, even here as we're poodling, it feels really comfortable, but like I mentioned, it's just around the engine. The V4 engine, I think, struggles to compete with the likes of, I think, Yamaha's, or, you know, for the Trace as an example, or the BMW GS, simply because it wants to get ragged. I think we all know it wants to get ragged. You want to be on that full throttle, or at least some sort of higher revs to get the most out of it. I was even told, you know, try not to use the quick shifter in kind of slow urban environments, which, yeah, sort of speaks for itself. But so the tank range on this bad boy is 170 to 180 miles, as per the real world use cases. Which is substantially less than its competitors, I believe. Engine braking, it's quite apparent, just an FYI. So when you get one of these, if you're going to test ride one, just watch out for it. As you release the throttle, the engine braking is fairly strong. I don't know if you've got the ability to change that, reduce that. I don't think so, but just a note. Brakes seem okay. They do seem to lack a little bit of feel, unfortunately. But that's actually one of the common reviews around the brakes, is that they do seem to, yeah, just lack a little bit of that feel that you'd expect. So I don't think you want to have this as a city bike, guys. It's quite obvious. I mean, if you were to buy this to put around London, I think you would struggle. Obviously it'd be more comfortable than a sport bike, but I do think you would struggle slightly. Oh, lovely little puddle. So just a note, you're probably better off with a naked of some kind of sports tourer, really. If we look at what the competitors are for this bike, you're running into some pretty tough competitions. So you've got the KTM Super Adventure S, which I think has a pretty similar engine to this, at least in terms of how it feels. That's what I've quickly gathered. You've got I think the Yamaha Tracer 9 GT falls in that category as well. Obviously the BMW GS, and also the BMW S1000 XR, which is very much a popular model which has a lot of fanboys, just like the GS. Maybe it's a BMW thing, who knows. But that's kind of who you're going up against. So some some titans of the motorcycle industry for sure. Lane filtering, I think you have to get used to the bike before you start attempting lane filtering, guys. The bike sounds awesome, absolutely awesome. Even just here, without, you know, kind of waiting for those V4 pistons to do work their magic, it still sounds like, yeah, let's have a little. You can have some fun with this bike. I mean, honestly, guys, go. This is going to be a difficult video for viewers, but you go watch someone who's taken this out on long twisty roads and they're going to be screaming in joy, because it's a really fun bike. It already feels pretty nimble, to be honest, way more than the GS. Definitely on par with the Super Adventure. Though it doesn't feel like you can sort of feel the weight, which actually brings me on to another talking point just quickly. It's around the online reviews are mixed. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, you can go and see them out there, but obviously before you purchase a bike, you want to make sure that you're getting something that other people would concur is a good bike. So you get quite a split view, to be honest. You get people that say best bike I've ever owned, never going back to anything else, does it all, etc, etc. So very much bit like Marmite, to be honest. Very much some lovers and some haters. You get a lot of people that say for an adventure bike, the bike struggles with sort of weight distribution when you've got pillion passengers and you're pushing the kind of the limits of the bike with instability. So as an adventure bike, I would expect the bike to be able to handle, you know, top boxes and general kind of luggage. And people are saying that it struggles with the bike, just doesn't feel stable, which is quite worrying, really. If you watch the reviews of 44 Teeth, when they take out this, the Triumph, the Super Adventurer S, and the was a KTM, BMW, this one, and the Triumph, I think there's just 4 of them. They all concur that the one they would take on a 2,000-mile journey with carrying all the luggage is the BMW. So really, I think people that are going to buy this bike are going to be the ones that want some hint of Italian flair. That's quite normal, I think. And someone who still wants power and wants to be able to use that power in comparison to the GS, because if you guys see my previous video, that was one of my criticism. It felt like it was lacking, you know, that fun element of what any bike should be, which is some speed. And you're gonna get it on this one, I guarantee it. And you're gonna get it even more if you upgrade to the Pikespeak version, or if you're a madman, you go to the RS version. Such a shame, guys. This needs to be unleashed. The power needs to be unleashed, and we're not able to right now. Going on the brakes, guys, I never really understood what people said lacking feel, but it's quite apparent. Some bikes, you touch the brake and you know it's kind of, there's not gradual pressure, but it's there, like it's powerful, it's ready. Other bikes, like I think like this one, you just don't get that same aggressive vibe on the braking. So that's, I think, what, you know, when people are referring to lack of feel on the brakes, that's what it feels like. Well, the sun's come out, guys, but unfortunately I've been stuck in what is arguably outside London, and it's not a very pleasant place to be. So future note to self, don't go to dealerships that are in London if we're able to avoid them. Now, can we go on bus lane? Typically you are allowed, but there should be signs on whether or not you can go. We'll give kind of a few final thoughts in a minute, but it's been a tricky ride. I'm not going to lie to you guys, to you viewers, you'll probably be able to tell on the video. Some tricky, you know, even when you're getting used to a new bike, even things like going up a hill, etc., it's all slightly more challenging than normal. I can only imagine what it's like taking a bike that you don't know on long, like, challenging journeys. I think before at least before I think I would head with mates on a really long trip, specifically if it's got some sort of challenging bits, I would always make sure that I'm really comfortable with the bike. That's a nice view though. Highlight of the day. Well, in true Ducati fashion, we need to top her up before we give her back. I can't give my honest verdict in terms of what this bike is like, because I have failed to take her on arguably what this bike is designed to be taken on, which is an adventure, hence the name. But from my let's ride in busy traffic mode, it's a really nice bike. It's comfortable. It does have an engine that wants to be let loose, but that's understandable. Seating position is you know, top up there in terms of comfortability. You know, that bakehouse, is that really that desperate, guys? Or are you queuing up for a sausage roll? So yeah, it's been difficult. I've got to hand her back, unfortunately. If it was up to me, I would take her, I don't know, down to Dover or something. As I did say, I'm in South London. I shan't reveal the area, but would I pay £21,000 for the standard model with no heated grips or kind of any of that nice jazz? Probably not. I'd wait and get a second-hand one that's got maybe 5,000 to 10,000 miles, and you get pretty much VAT off, and potential upgrades and add-ons that other people have put on and then decided to let go. So yeah, that's what I would do anyway. But I get why people buy new bikes, because they like that nice new bike smell. Don't we all? We all like nice shiny new things. So as the sun comes out, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. I do hope you enjoyed the video, even though it's been different than our usual multi environment kind of setting. This has been what people that live in busy cities have to go through on a daily basis. And imagine being in a car. Oh god, can't think of anything worse. So the bike is fantastic. I do think it's slightly overpriced, I'm not gonna lie, for what it offers for £21,000. I would expect something a bit different, to be honest. Not different, sorry, wrong word to use. I would expect more for your money. Other noticeable things are the engine. I think when you compare it against others, I mean, it's charismatic, no doubt, but when you compare it against others, it's probably not as, not useful, not the right word, as I don't know what to call it, kind of, well, yeah, it's not as utilizable, if that's a word. I don't think that's a real word in the English language, but you know, you guys know what I mean. You just need to be at higher revs. It's a different kind of yeah, different kind of beast. So usability -1, price -1, fun element +1. That's all I can think of, really, guys. If you fancy leaving a subscribe, do it, and hopefully next time we'll be in a better situation than we are today, but needs must for these poor vloggers, eh? Don't you guys go thinking that we make thousands and thousands of pounds, because I'm not even monetized. So I've got to pay for petrol. But yeah, if you like the video, give it a little like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back for sure for more bike fun in the future. Peace out, guys.